today is the day. Welcome back to Prickly Pear Acres. Today we're harvesting garlic, and it looks like there's a lot. To some people it might not be a lot, but I think it's a lot. It's the most I've ever done. This will be my second garlic harvest. So far it's worked out pretty good. Hasn't been difficult. I've heard people say that garlic is really hard to do, and I've just found it to be the easiest thing in my whole garden. I guess I was blessed that way. I don't know. I will take it as a blessing because it's been a struggle with everything else. First things first, to my trusty car. Oh, they're way back there. So here's the plan. We're harvesting garlic today. And my little cooler, that was a pretty butterfly, is full of, coffee, apparently, and clothespins. We're not using the coffee for the garlic. I'm really not sure why I put that in there. We're going to hang the garlic at the top of these cattle panels here because they're already here. And then some, I'm going to start on the clothesline, and the leftovers I'll put on top of the panels here to cure all day in the sun. And then after that, I can cut off the tops and most of the roots and then store them in a brown paper bag until September when I replant my garlic. We're going to save about a third of the garlic for fresh eating, and then 2/3 of all this garlic is going up for planting. And I'm going to count these as I pull them because when I planted them, I counted around 95. When they all sprouted, I counted 92. So I had a pretty good germination rate. And this is all garlic that I had saved from the previous year, but I saved all of it to plant again. So 2 years ago, I bought a couple, I think each bag was a 1/4 pound, so I bought 1/2 pound from Keene Garlic. Keene. Loved it. We have soft neck garlic. So I plant in mid to end September, and then I harvest around May, June. Today is May 21st. Last year we harvested about the middle of June, and last year's garlic wasn't nearly as big as this garlic. I would say this garlic right here is twice the size of last year's garlic. I mean, it was just crazy difference. I need a basket though to put all this in to take over to the clothesline. Uno momento. I am very tired today, which is not good because it's only May. If I'm this tired at the beginning of the season, what am I gonna be like in the throes of it all? Still exhausted. What I'm gonna do as I pull all this is get all this mulch out of the bed because we are gonna be amending this bed for the garlic next year. Now, I've heard people say not to plant garlic in the same bed year after year. I have also heard people say that they plant their garlic in the same bed year after year. I have planted my garlic now 2 years in a row in this very bed. Last year we amended it. I'm looking to see how far down I have to go before I hit clay. All right. That's how far down I have to go before I hit clay. So what we did was we put bone meal and blood meal, just a little bit on the clay, in the clay. And then we put this raised bed mix. I do not remember what this is called, so sorry about that. We just put that in, and like I said before, our garlic this year is 2 times the size it was last year. I mean, seriously. Our garlic was only this tall last year. And that could also be because, 1, we amended the beds, and 2, every time you save seed and plant it in your climate, it gets stronger and stronger every year. So that applies to garlic, onions, literally everything. So for some of the cilantro that I have going to seed right now, last year was the first time I planted cilantro. So I'll save the seed, and next year it'll be even stronger than it was this year because they have the genetics in them that are more acclimated to your climate and can do better, which is really good to do when you live in a place like Texas because it's hot. And we get a long growing season, and that's amazing, but it is quite hot. And I mean, it obviously helps to not put things in full sun. Even if it says it likes full sun, it doesn't mean Texas full sun. So it helps to put it, you know, in the shade and not be in full sun all day long. But I mean, who doesn't want stronger genetics in all their plants? I do. And so far, it seems to be working. So I'm quite excited for next year's garlic harvest already, even though right now I'm harvesting this year's garlic. I can't wait till next year. This might be the biggest one yet. I don't remember what variety these are, but if I look it up from my order, I will put it on the screen. There's 2 varieties in here. One's a red skinned garlic and the other's white. Look at that guy. So whenever I'm getting the dirt off, I'll show you with the next one. I'll show you how I do it. I'm not going to wash these. You can, but I don't because that's an extra step. I brush the dirt out of the roots, and then let's see if I can do it opposite. I start from the roots and go down and just wipe the dirt off, because if I go this way, I'm going to peel the skin off on the outer part, and we don't want to peel the outer skin off. So I'm going to do it like this, keeps the skin on, gets most of the dirt off. There you go. My basket's getting quite full. I'm going to be saving the best bulbs and the biggest to save for seed this September for next year's harvest, because the better, healthier, and stronger it is, the better, healthier, stronger plant you're going to end up with. And that's the same with saving any kind of seeds. So if you were to save pepper seeds, for example, you would want to leave the pepper on the vine. Let's say jalapeno. Jalapenos are green, right? Well, actually, all peppers are going to ripen to red. Doesn't matter if it's a jalapeno. It doesn't matter if it's a bell pepper. Doesn't matter if it's a banana pepper. Try a red banana pepper. If you think banana peppers taste bland, wait until they're fully ripe and then see how they taste. Anyways, if you want to save seeds, leave the pepper on the plant until it fully ripens to red and maybe even starts to crack a slight bit. You don't have to, but that's when you know for sure they are the most mature. They're the biggest and best they're going to get. Now, an easy way to make sure they don't get damaged by bugs or rain or whatever is to take a small mesh bag, like a little jewelry bag. It's about, a little one with drawstrings on it. You can take a bag and put it over it to make sure bugs don't get to it and like start eating on it and stuff. And that'll help it stay primo. Another thing, if you want to save the seeds of anything, once the plant flowers, before it's going to make the fruit, so tomatoes, the flower comes and then the fruit comes from the flower. Once you see the flower, as soon as you see it, put one of those little baggies over it so that the pollinators don't cross-pollinate that plant with something else. So you'll have to hand pollinate, but put the baggie over the flower, and then that will ensure that that plant is going to be that plant next year. Because if they get cross-pollinated with another kind of tomato, there's a chance that it's not going to be the same tomato, which is totally fine. You're still going to get a tomato, so you're still going to get food, but if you love that variety and you want that for next time, just make sure to cover up the blossom and you'll be good to go. There's many ways to save seeds from different kinds of fruit. It depends on what you're trying to save from. Like tomatoes, there's kind of a little more tedious process because it has that gel coating around it, and that is so if an animal were to eat that, the gel coating protects it going through the digestive system and gets put elsewhere, and the plant will grow again because plants just want to grow. If you've ever watched Jess from Roots and Refuge, you know this information. You know that plants just want to grow. And so the way they grow is to make sure that they keep growing and keep making more plants. With peppers, though, it's a lot easier to save seeds. All you have to do is leave it on. I'll leave it on until it's dried on the plant, and then I'll harvest it, and then I'll cut it open, and then I'll scrape the seeds out. I'll set them on a paper towel for a day if the pepper was already dry. Set them on a paper towel just to make sure they're dry, and then save them, and then label them. I've never done that part, the labeling part, because I always think for some reason I'm going to remember. Do I? No, I never do. And I have mystery pepper seeds in my camper, and I did not plant them this year just because I wanted to know exactly what I was going to get out of my garden this year. And I didn't have extra space. If I had extra space, I totally would have grown some. But I didn't. All right, I brought over the table from the front yard. We're going to hang our garlic on the clothesline. We have a few on here that we put up yesterday because we couldn't help ourselves. We had to see. My husband hung them perfectly like this. So let's go get it. All right. Clothespin cooler. And garlic. Ain't that a pretty sight? I'm going to organize these by category on the table first to see what I am hanging up to cure for next year. And then what I am going to be keeping and taking inside to process if I get to that today, because I don't know, I feel like there's just too many things that I need to get done and not enough time today. We're going small, medium, and large, making it easy. I'm supposed to be counting these, and I'm not. So I counted 73. So these are the really funny ones that I found. Look, there's like another garlic growing in here. And same here. And that's so funny. I'll show you the biggest one and the smallest one. Tiniest and biggest. Look at the stalk difference. This stalk is smaller than the leaves on the biggest one. I think I'm going to count them again because one, I think I miscounted, and two, I want to see how many of each size group I have, and I'm going to actually write it down. We got 10 small, 32 medium, and 30 large. So we have a total of 72, which means somewhere along the way we lost 20, unless I miscounted when they were all sprouting, which is a possibility. Editing Michelle here. I messed up. I forgot that we had harvested a few garlics yesterday, but the total ends up being that we only lost 9 from my original count when they were seedlings, and we actually have 83 garlic total. Well, that's it for the garlic harvest. I think 72 is pretty good. Plus, I mean, come on. How fun is this? And it makes me feel really good that we have all organic garlic. I'm very happy. Have you noticed that the garden brings me the most joy? Good morning. It is the next day, and I'm getting the garlic ready to cure inside because it's dry, it's cool, and I have a dark space that I can keep them in. And that is the ideal place you want to cure your garlic for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Out here was fine. You're not really supposed to cure it in the sunlight, but this is what I had time to do yesterday, so it's going to be fine. So I'm just taking it down, and I am peeling off the outer layer, mostly to keep it clean. I'm going to leave the roots, and then I'm going to cut each garlic to about here, and that's how we're going to cure it. And then for the tops, I'm going to clean them off first, and then I'm going to hang them to dry or put them in my I have a hanging basket dehydrator that my friend Casey gave me. So as long as my oregano is done drying in there, I can put the green tops. I don't think they'll all fit in that thing, but I want to try some in there and then some just hanging in the window, from the ceiling, wherever I can hang it. Thank you for hanging out. I always love hanging out with my friends and family, and I will see you next time.